up and welcome to Rise. Ladies Ninjan. Today we are talking tuberculosis, TB. Although TB is preventable and curable, it remains the leading cause of death for women in South Africa. Now, ladies, niyazi indaba yami. So I've had TB before, right? And I was lucky because I had people to support me and be there for me because it's a very difficult thing to go through.
It is. Support is very important.
It is. So do you guys know anyone who's had TB in your lives?
Mina kukhona abantu ababili, auntie kanye nosisi wami ababenayo TB ekhaya. Thina samane sabona nje umndeni wami ubumbana, ukuze bekwazi ukunikeza, my two family members isupport akade beyidinga in order ukuthi baqede treatment yabo.
Njengoba dela ukhuluma ngesupport ayikho into edlula isupport.
So
khona umfana lapha ekhasi yabo mangikhuluma naye istory sakhe. Wangitshela ukuthi azini kukho konke nje isupport.
Okay, you need it.
Ngitholile support. If isupport abazali bami bebangekho kube ngiyekelile mina le treatment.
Yes, Mina, this year I can get TB test for the first time in my life for an admin thing that I was doing. And I realized before that, TB was just never in my life. Like, it's the highest killer in South Africa, and yet I knew nothing about it. So before I had the test, I was just like, yo, what's gonna happen? Like, I was just so scared. And I was thinking, okay, if I don't know about TB, do other people know about it? And where do we come to learn about it?
I didn't until I had it. Let me be honest, I didn't know
I've never seen an ad with the TB, Mina, or No, but that speaks to maybe that the fact that there needs to be a stronger messaging, and especially for us, because that's supposed to be catering to us, because it's killing us.
It makes it look
easy.
easy.
And it's not easy, guys. I mean, just, people think you just take pills and you're fine.
And you're healed.
It's about so much more than that. It's about getting support. It's about being in the right frame of mind. Because Leandro, you won't know what to do with yourself.
6 months is kulumanga. Like, it's just the initial stages of your successful. But so aglula nje ukuthi kwenziwa lokho. So uyadinga le support. Exactly. So iqembu leRise lihamba la eKapa, which is one of the regions in Mzansi Africa with the highest number of TB infections. I guess bheka ukuthi kwenzakaleni.
It was 2006. Ndafumana uba ndine-XDR ngehlobo loba kwanziwa operation because yayingafumaneki esikhohleleni kuthiwa iyazifihla. Ngelaa xesha umuntu one-XDR wayekwafuna ngabe khona kwi-community at all, but izinto esasizibukela over kwi-TV eso, but yenzeka kum ke ngoku then ubomi bam bophilile. Abantu balapha ekuhlaleni zange ibebi ngabantu ababelekela kude kum abamelwane, but into yavela abelekela kude kum zii-friends zam, then azaphinda zeza kwalapha endlini. But eklinikini ke ngoku lapho ndafika imeko yam ndaqonda uba hayi ke ngoku ubomi buyabusiya because kulapho ndilindele uba xa ndifika kwifacility kulapho ndiza kufumana uncedo okanye ndibe sezandleni ezishushu. Xa ndifika eklinikini one of onesi ndafika bekhona, but zange bandivumele even uba ndingene even kwi-TB room, and ndandine-questions endandinazo uba mna i-TB ndiyifumene phi. Unoba andisapote yena wavele wandityhalela le because wazange afune noba athethe nam, wavathi mandiphumele ngapha kweyadi. And xa ungakhange uyicaciselo njengam unayi enga uzibuza imibuzo uba ndiyifumene phi TB, utheni ndim, ingaba ndizawuphila na. Umsebenzi wami as i-counselor ndisebenza ngabantu abane-TB, u-MDR no-XDR, but isikakhulu ndisebenza ngabantu aba-interruptayo, aba-defaultayo. Yinto esiye siyenze nge-Fridays siye ezibonele siyothetha nge-TB. Kaloku into esiyifunayo xa siseteksini asithi make sure kusebusika siyazivula iifestire, xa siphakame ezindlini ekuseni siyazivula iifestire. Then kwiindawo nee-shippings masiba masiye kwezo ndawo siyokwenza nje i-awareness uba kwenzeka ntoni, i-TB ifumaneka njani na. Into esesibafundise ngayo ngomzekelo, umntu makathathe itreatment yakhe, unumber 1 lo makatye itreatment yakhe. Once watye itreatment yakho uzawuphila. Izinto sibe-based kuzo ezo. Okwesibini, ayithethi ukuthi xa usitya le treatment ubomi buphelile zizinto eziye sithethe ngazo kubo ezo ubomi buya usensitsho uba izawudlula le meko uqhubeleke nobomi bakho.
Bakwethu.
Sure. Yeah.
Kunzima bakwethu. You know, the one thing that struck me ngalokho kade kusho lo mama ukuthi ngesikhathi efika eclinic unesi umane wamjikisa esicabheni wangavumela nokuthi angene kwi-TB room.
It's the shame thing again. You
Exactly.
know? Like, I feel like on Rise this season, we are just dealing with shame throughout.
Everywhere.
And we're being shamed
But
for things
besides shame,
that are
unesi
not
responsibility nomsebenzi ukuthi
Guys,
asize lo
I
muntu
was
lo.
so lucky, you know, and I took it for granted at the time because I had the best treatment, the nurses were nice to me, and I think it's just the private sector, hey? I think it's a private sector thing where they explained everything to me. I never had that fear like that she spoke about of, am I going to die? I knew I was going to get through it.
But guys, Razabani Ntose Tuka TB, right? It's preventable, and yet it's the leading cause of death in this country. Do we actually know how to prevent TB though?
Well, mina ngiyazi ukuthi one of the most well-known ways, and futhi lo sis lo ushilo ngesikhathi ekhuluma kwi-insert ukuthi kumele ukuthi uvula amawindi. Whether ulele ekhaya noma useteksini noma eshebhini, vulana amawindi kube nomoya ngoba i-TB itholakala emoyeni.
What else?
Okunye deli amawindow makubanda kunzima kwavula.
Especially
into engifuna ukuthi sigqizelele ukuthi lokho kokuthatha amapilisi.
Actually, but it's not only about the pills, guys. I mean, it sounds so easy again to take pills, to be told to take pills. I mean, look at this. If you had to take these pills, it's not fun, hey? Every single day for 6 months. And when I started, you know, I had a light cough and I had night sweats. And then after I took the pills, I had some side effects, which were difficult. And if I hadn't been told that this was going to happen to me, it becomes difficult because you think, oh, am I just getting more sick? Like, it's really hard. And if you don't have support, it's even worse.
Or even if you don't have a balanced diet, right? Because you can't be drinking pills on an empty stomach, you know? And I was watching this documentary where there's a 3-year-old child who had TB, and Umama Ke was crushing the
Just
pills,
to be
right?
able to
Because the
accommodate
pills
others.
are not tasty.
Mami into engimangazayo ukuthi yebo iyalapheka ne kodwa waye abantu basashona.
Basashona namanje kodwa enye kodwa indlela kodwa ngaphandle kwalokho is i-vaccine bakwethu ekumele ithathwe vele usamncane. Mina ngiyakhumbula ukuthi ngesikhathi ngempela abantu besemndenini wami bebephathwa yilento le kwakumele sithathe nayo
And nasikhulumi ngayo Thuli, you know, abantu bayasaba. So when Deli's family members had it, was there a conversation, Deli? Like, did you guys talk about it? Sit down and say, this is what you need to do. This is how we prevent ourselves. You know, there's never that conversation when you have it. I don't even remember a conversation having it with my friends or my family when I had it.
You know what, guys? The fact of the matter is that inkinga enkulu kabi esibhekene nayo lana eMzantsi Afrika, i-TB ibulala abantu, and something needs to be done to be able to help us with this problem. We want to find out your thoughts. Kanye nolwazi onalo nge-TB. Khuluma nathi kwi-Facebook ne-Twitter usebenzise #RiseTalkShow. Sonibona emva kwekhefu.
One of our Rise Young Women asked the question, Utsakani, that if you finish your treatment, is it possible to be reinfected?
It is.
Oh,
Sometimes
wow,
it
that's
is.
scary.
Nginamkeleni futhi uhlelo lethu elithi Rise. Umbuzo osubuzile ukuthi umsupporta kanjani wena umuntu ene-TB asibhekeni ku social media yethu. Nakokuqala phikiswa athi I think TB patients need to be treated like everyone else and be there for them. This will encourage them to take their meds and to feel loved abantu. Umaria yena athi by taking them to hospital for treatment, checkups, make sure they eat and drink their medication properly for 6 months. Athule yena athi treat them with ngothando bantu ngesupport. Let them understand the adverse isilungu bantu effects of the medication and encourage them to take treatment. TB is curable. All are 6. So namhlanje sine video wentombazana othatha i-treatment ye-TB lapha eKhayelish asibhekeni.
Yena aqale ndagula ne. Yazi nginehlaba. So ke ngabe nilele. Then lafika and ufika kwalo yayingathi into le ichisayo. They test TB. Yo, phike kakhulu because nempahla mina impahla lami inkulu ndizosika kwami naba kuthiwa into ndingaka because bona ndijonga abanye abantwana hlela phandle bese ngiqonda bengasaphumi naphandle So ke ngoku bafika sisixolisa ngengomso like ndafeeling ngathi kukho umama xa kuphusa isixolisa because wafika wandifundisa ngomzuzu ndathi ndimbona ndabona umama because waqala ndixelela okay sure uzotya ezipilisi uzothini uthini wandichazela yonke into xa funeka unganxibi indlela bandayo unxiba into ezishushu mara ke andithandi nofutha ndisepheka iipilisi zam ndizitya for 2 years so seyi-3 months siziva bhetere neqala akhona.
Siboye kakhulu ngamakhomenti wenu niyenzeni kanjalo. So namhlanje sine guest yethu iphuma khona eKapa lodumo wenza i-research nge-TB. Igama lakhe uBianca Masuku. Simsheleni izandla.
Hi, Bianca.
Hey.
Bianca Jan, Ngiyaphila nami. Lalela ke, we're very curious to find out from you ukuthi kahle kahle yindaba ukhethe ukwenza i-PhD ngegciwane lesifuba.
So I actually started my work being interested more in young people and health. Ukuthi abantu abancane, how do they understand izinto around health, around disease? And then I was introduced to a project called Ewoza, which works with abantwana basekhaya around the topic of TB. And so what they do is they introduce them to the biomedical side of TB, introducing these complicated concepts, these scientific concepts around TB, and trying to get them to understand it so that they have better knowledge about what the disease actually is, how it operates. And that's how I began my journey with tuberculosis.
Okay, so njengoba nje usuthole ulwazi nje ngalo TB, iziphi izinhlobo ezihlukahlukene nge-TB futhi zonke futhi ziyalapheka?
Yes, so zonke ziyalapheka, definitely.
Okay.
And the different types that exist, gune drug-susceptible TB, which is TB elapheka with the first line of drugs, yabo.
Okay.
Iyo le 6 months.
Okay.
And then you get MDR, which is multi-drug resistant TB. Ne? And Leo is treated with a second line of drugs. So TB that cannot be treated with the most available, the first line drugs, the most available drugs, right?
Okay.
Then gubane XDR-TB. And the XDR-TB is resistant to the first line drugs and the second line drugs, which makes it very hard to treat, very complicated and very expensive as well.
What does the XDR stand for?
X is for extensive.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, extensively.
Drug resistant TB.
Okay.
So masithi it's like kune crisis ku TB sikhuluma ngani kahle kahle.
In 2015 alone, there were 100,000 people who died from TB. And that's a very big number. That is a lot of people dying from a disease that has a cure and is preventable, yes. We're talking about the fact that people who live in informal settlements, you know, it's not easy to ventilate your house if next door kunomkuku and next door kunomkuku and no one is bothered about the fact that sivule amafastere and get air in, you know?
Because the kuluk dust.
Yes, but dust doesn't necessarily cause TB. What really causes it is the bacteria. The bacteria is semoyeni. And exactly. Sonke siyahamba, we don't know ukuthi we have TB, siyakhohlela. You know, the bacteria gets released into the air. And there's a lot of these misconceptions about ukuthi we tola from dust, we tola from working in a factory, ebandayo. And these are things that put you at risk of getting it. They make umzimba wako not as strong at defending bacteria if you get it. So it doesn't cause TB. And the project that I'm working on now, the Ewoza project, is trying to dispel, like trying to get people to understand, no,
that's not how you get it. But how do you know you have TB? Because I've had TB and I didn't know until I was in hospital that I had TB. I mean, I just had a headache, I was feeling a little drowsy, but I mean, there were no obvious signs for me anyways that I had TB. So how does someone know?
So the common symptoms of TB are obviously having a persistent cough, a cough that you cough for like two weeks or more, right?
Okay.
Then there's the night sweats. You have these hot flashes, you have a fever, and you don't understand what's going on. And those are the most common. But the only way you can really find out is if you go to the clinic. If you present with these kind of symptoms, ungahlali endlini and say no, mhlambe flu. You know, yeah.
HIV is out there. We've seen the campaigns, billboards, everything. But TB is not there. So why is it not there?
Other than Tuli's ad.
Yeah, which I didn't even see.
Yeah.
I really don't know how to answer that. I don't know why there isn't a lot of messaging around it, because this disease is very big.
Yeah.
It's a very, very big disease. And we need to have a lot more conversations about it. But I guess it's also just the fact that I guess I want to just see TB as boring. Like it's not as it's not exciting. Yeah, it's not something. And abayisabi also. We know that it exists, but we're just like.
But then uzoyisaba kanjani into ongayazi? Noma into ongayazi nokuthi khona nokuthi bulala kanjani abantu abakhona.
Because noma just khohlela as abantu, sometimes we don't even cover our mouths. We don't take those precautions.
Yes.
And one of our Rise young women asked the question, Utsakane, that if you finish your treatment, is it possible to be reinfected?
It is.
Oh,
Sometimes
wow,
it
that's scary.
is. Sometimes you're just unfortunate and you do happen to get it again. You need to understand the importance of your treatment. Get the people around you to be aware of what's happening with you, you know. Have someone who's attentive to you. Hopefully there's someone in your life who can be there to make sure you're eating, to make sure you're taking your treatment, to make sure you're getting enough rest, enough sleep, to make sure that when you're coughing intensely in bed, someone's there to say, no, you're fine, to just stroke your back and say, uzoba right, you know, to make sure ukudla kukhona endlini, you know. Simple things like that can go a really long way.
Bianca, siyabonga kakhulu ngokufika lana sokuxoxa nathi ngeTB. Iyasabisa legciwane kodwa kumnandi ukubona ukuthi firstly iyalapheka nokuthi zikhona izindlela kanye nomuthi esingawuthatha to ensure ukuthi abantu bayalapheka from legciwane lelo. Emva kwakhe we will be joined by our big sister Umalebo, so stay tuned.
We treat batho ba phelang ka TB differently because re tshaba hore re tlo ithola ke, and most of the time re tshaba ntho re sa itsebeng.
Dumela Malebo.
Le kae?
Re teng. Malebo, re bua ka taba ya TB today. What's your personal experience of TB?
TB is something that's very close to my heart, and it recently became close to my heart, you know. As a South African black woman, this is something eki warang ka yona, neki sa ithuti ka yona, until ibile ya tshwara a very, very, very close friend of mine. Le nna zanka enka serious taba eo, you know, and I think ha ke nahana ka be ke bile ka boela morago ka bala ka TB go understand hore king and like etshwereng chomi e ya ka ne. So hantse nako e tsamaya ebe ke understand hore medication ona unka only very hard mo body ya high, so nasa khone go handle this medication, so about default ka medication ona until atshwara ke multi drug resistant, until it even went to extensively drug resistant TB stage. And at that time unfortunately this friend of mine passed away. And I think the lesson for me mo tabeng eo ibile ya ba hore after fetso tlhokofala ke gona ke batlo bala ka TB, and ha ke bala ka TB ena ke ga ke bona hore no man Chomiaka went through a lot, you know, from the amount of pills that once adinke, the period it once anke di pilisi tsena, and nakwe rona re phela maphelo a rona, we don't take the time to actually find out hore are you okay, do you need support. And I think it was a lesson for me hore taba ena ya TB, it's a very serious one, you know, and we can't take it for granted because it's killing people who are close to us, and only after they die do we reflect and think hore no, we could have supported them better.
Mbuzo, like there's a friend of mine une TB and at the same time une HIV, so akafuni ukuthatha medication at all vele akafuni, so like sifuna ukwazi ukuthi umndeni wakhe like ungazivikela kanjani from being diagnosed with TB nayo.
I know it's very hard, you know, go phela ka TB, and ratwa mo South Africa go tletse di stigma, especially around the issues of being infected with HIV. And a lot of people ha ba tshwara ke TB, a lot of the symptoms, you know, they're expressed in the way that HIV symptoms expresses themselves. And most of the time people with TB you know, are most likely to be infected with HIV. And so the stigma surrounds that, and people become afraid first to go and test because people are afraid of diagnosis, right? Secondly, people are afraid of what the community will say to them. So it's important in when the family banahana kataba ena, baskanahana mo plekeng ya hore rona re thibeletsa jwang gore ska thola TB. Mar banahane hore ba ka supporta jwang motho wa bona o dulang le bona mo ntlong, because it's not just about ha batle go nka medication. There might be many reasons around why a sa batle go nka medication. So it's about go bua le ena hantle hore okay, maybe we can find a different way hore a thole medication. Maybe rona heke rona re tla ya clinicing or re kope nurse wa ko clinicing a tle mo ntlong a tlo bua le ena ka taba ena ya hore skanka medication can even become more deadly, you know, so it's very, very important for that, the support.
Yeah.
There is one person endlini on a TB, and then like it is possible for ukuthi si end up ukuthi sonke endlini sigcine sesinaleyo TB.
Ke tlo stressa taba ena ya support and education. Because most of the time, re treata batho ba phelang ka dilo tse tshwanang le TB differently because rona re tshaba hore re tlo ithola akere. And most of the time re tshaba ntho re sa itsebeng. So it's important hore re tsebe, re be educated around taba ya TB hore how do you get it? This is when family tshwantse go clinicing le yona themselves e be educated hore what measures can we take hore e ska spreadiwa within the house.
Malebo o re joditse ka tšhomi ya hao o na bana le TB. Rona ba re dutseng mo le batho ba leng ko hae. What tools o ka re fang tsona hore re better manage TB?
TB is one of the leading causes of death, most South Africans and disease is a you know. Then this is a challenge to the communities. How can then we as a community become better for ourselves? Because at the end of the day, it will affect the whole community. Finally, projects like community-based care, you know, and these community-based care, they are tools because then batuba batsabang khoya go clinicing go lata medication because of stigma, batuba dulang khole le di clinic, you know, and batuba basa understanding can come to these community-based care centers where people educate them, and it's easier for you because there are people who are dedicated who tusa honka medication. And happy we can also challenge, you know, our society. We can challenge the health department, for example, or we must find better ways to reduce the number of pills that people who are living with TB take. But the most important message communities must rise up, you know, and find ways to support people living with TB, because when you find those ways, you are keeping the whole community healthy.
Yeah.
And the developments are very lula nje. So sibonge kakhulu Malebo as usual.
Thank you.
Njengabantu abasha sinamaphupho futhi sifuna ukuphila impilo ebutepu. So isikhathini esiningi makufika kulezi zinto lezi zokuthi sizinakekele dolololo. So sinakekeleni bafethu. Hey, unzima la ngaphandle. Kodwa ningakhohlwa ukusithinta epage lethu lithi #RiseTalkShow. Bye bye.
Woof, woof.